On this week's edition of FASCO Parlour Fans in Disguise, we have a Thomas British India collection ceiling fan, basically a rebadged FASCO Parlour fan with some little extras. I don't know if you would call that polished brass or burnished brass. I'm not entirely sure. It's kind of a mix of both. It has these really cool cane blades. This is actually the second British India fan that I've found in my life, and they all had cane blades with this really neat tapering on the edge of the blades. It's got a Thomas canopy. That's definitely not FASCO. Top plate on the motor is definitely a Thomas design, but the rest of it is FASCO. It even has the same metal flywheel that the Parlour fans had. Although some of the later ones had rubber flywheels inside of one of these that was actually a cover. And the later ones, even later than that, just had straight rubber exposed flywheels. This is an earlier one. It uses the same Vari-Low system as a FASCO Parlour fan, where it has a cardboard box, variable speed control, and a 2-speed pull chain that goes high and then activates the Vari-Low. And the speed control system also has a capacitor up inside the motor housing there that when turned all the way up, the capacitor actually limits it to not go to full high. It goes about 95%. And then when you go to straight high, it's full speed. It's the original tassel pull chain, which is also a FASCO product. But yeah, the thing's actually in pretty good shape, you know, other than missing the switch cap because it had a broken light kit on it when I got it. It did not have the original switch cab, sadly, and I don't have a spare. So this is how it's going to sit unless I put a single globe light kit on it. And it has one of the blades is bent downward a little bit, so it wobbles pretty badly. I have to balance it, but we can go ahead and start it up. I have the Vari-Low turned all the way down. Start it on low. And on the lowest setting, it does hum quite a bit. That being a solid state, variable speed control. Got a pretty bad wobble to it. Nice low speed though. Don't even have to adjust the trim pot at all. It's actually a perfect low speed. Probably could be a little slower, but go ahead and turn it up a little bit. And in case I didn't mention it before, this fan is reversible. It has a reverse switch on the bottom motor plate. The wobble's actually not that bad on this particular setting. It's definitely moving a pretty decent breeze. And there's the reverse switch right there. Turn it up a little more. And I actually picked this fan up, believe it or not, for free from Marketplace locally. I literally saw it like an hour after it was listed and I jumped on it. One of my fellow fan collector friends actually sent me the link and I was like damn near did a double take when I saw it. Thank God I was able to snag it. The wobble's definitely less, still there, but it's moving a pretty good breeze on this speed. I mean, I could comfortably run this at this speed, and it's not, overkill or anything. It's actually perfect. Go ahead and turn it all the way up. So this is not fully high, but the highest point on the variable control. It's pretty powerful. So let's go ahead and we'll do straight high. And you notice that the hum disappears on high. And it's cranking air. Like, this is a very solid air mover of a fan. It's just too bad about that wobble. I'm gonna have to work on that. Now, if I had 2 of these, I would replace the Sea Islands in my sunroom with these. That would be cool. So we're gonna turn it off. We'll do spin down. And then I have this plugged into my kilowatt meter on the wall, and we'll do testing with the Vari-Low through the range and then go to high speed. Doing this a little bit differently in this video because I haven't used the kilowatt meter in a while. Obviously the bearings are good. They don't chatter or nothing. This must have been hanging in the original house for years and years and years. I just wonder how one of those blades got bent. It's definitely got a pretty nice long spin down. And before anybody asks, I do plan to keep this in my collection. The only place that I would consider installing this outside of my collection would be the museum if they wanted it, but it would have to be balanced first. So no, this will not be for sale in the upcoming August 10th Fanimation trip. This is one that I'm keeping. So we're going to turn the variable speed all the way down, which is all the way clockwise. And there's the kilowatt meter plugged into the wall there. We'll start it on the lowest speed. And on the lowest setting, it is drawing. Sorry, it's a little dirty. It's been a while since I used this. 0.43 amps. There's that nasty wobble again. All right, let's go ahead and turn it up a little. Okay, now we are at 0.51. A little bit more of a functional low. A little bit less wobble. Okay, turn it up a little more. This is more of a medium speed here. And this one is at 0.66 amps. A little more. Once again, this is that speed that I was comfortable with keeping it at because it wobbles the least and is not straight high. This one is drawing 0.80. Now we're going to go all the way up to full speed and see what that draws on the very low. That is drawing 1.03 amps on full very low. Now we're going to switch it off and go back to high. And that is drawing 1.09. Not that much of a jump, actually. Not too bad. Still a pretty efficient fan. Let's see how many watts it's doing. Yeah, 110, of course. There's your power factor. 59.9, 60.0. 119.6 volts on high speed. And that's at 1.08. Huh. Okay. There's your watts, power factor. Back to amps. And I'm not going to do the full spin down to end the video just because you already saw it, but there you have it. That is the 52-inch Thomas British India collection. Hope you guys enjoyed. Keep watching. More videos to come.